what I'd like to do is I had an opportunity to share for a little bit. I want to give you an opportunity if anyone would like to share. If you would, so that folks can hear, I would encourage you to come up here and come to the microphone. That also allows folks on Facebook to be able to enjoy it as well. If anybody would like to share, please come on up and do so.
It's pretty cold out there today, or as Grandma would have called it, a shitty day. She always hated the cold. I once heard a story about a man's funeral where as the pallbearers lifted the casket and started carrying it down the aisle, there began a noise coming from inside of the casket, a thumping noise from one end of the casket to the other. As it turns out, the man and his friend were golfing buddies, and the friend had placed the man's golf balls inside with his friend. You see, before I knew Grandma was going to be cremated, I thought about burying her with a blue gumball, with the hope that wherever she went, she could redeem it for a personal pan pizza. I laughed at the thought of a blue gumball rolling around in her casket as the pallbearers escorted her out. I miss the days of Grandma digging all the quarters out of her purse at Pizza Hut to distribute amongst us cousins with the hope of one of us getting a blue gumball. We would return to the table with several gumballs apiece in each of our mouths to tell her that we never got one. Disappointed, she would walk to her car to dig for more quarters. As the smartest of us cousins once said, Gabe, she was using us to gamble. You see, she wasn't your typical grandma. She drove a purple car, despised seafood, but loved Captain D's. It was not very materialistic, but filled her house with antiques. She complained every time I cut my hair, quote, too short. On the surface, Grandma sometimes came across as emotional or vulnerable, at times even weak. But looking back now at what she had gone through throughout her life, I believe that in many ways, she truly was a strong person. If I could say one more thing to her, I would tell her that I truly enjoyed the 28 years that we got to spend together. If I could say two things, I would say, see, I told you, you would never win the lottery. But that's not true, you see. Grandma had in fact won the lottery. She lived her life relatively free of medical problems for an 87-year-old woman. She married and later dated a couple great men. She lived long enough to meet 7 great grandchildren. Take a look around you, and you will see her lottery winnings. We are her legacy. Thank you everyone for coming, especially thank you Scott for doing this.